Cold Berg, Sarge. Probably just druggies looking for some quick cash.
Probably so they can afford to get into Leighton Hall.
What was that?
Nothing, just PJ being sarcastic. We're passing the new detox centre. 308 out.
Bloody hell.
Away from me! Leave me! Leave me alone! Save me, save me! Don't let him get me, he's after me! Don't let him get me, the demon's trying to get me, look!
Mrs. Richmond!
There he is, the demon!
Hi, Mr. Asham. G'day, love. It's good to see you.
And I came down here, and then I ran out there, chased me through the bushes. I went across the lawn and across the driveway, and then the police car came up.
Come on now. It's all right, Jack. Calm down.
Someone was trying to get into my room.
No, they weren't. Were they, Helen?
You're imagining things again, Mrs. Richmond.
Come on, now, why don't I take you back to your room? We'll have a nice cup of tea.
She did seem very frightened.
I assure you, we know what we're doing. Come on, drink up.
So how are things at the station? Sergeant Croydon all right, is he?
Archie, what are you doing here?
As I told you before, Mr. Asham. Security consultant. Likes Mr. Long there, he'll say the same.
That's true, Mr. Long. Archie works for you?
Yes, he does. Look, I have to get Mrs. Richmond back to her room. Can this wait?
I'd like you to come down the station if you don't mind sometime.
Sure. Come on.
There you go, then. I'll say goodbye, Mr. Asham. Bye, love. Give my regards to the gang at the station.
I've already raked the bloody lawn.
And put the leaves in the incinerator?
Just get off my back, you stupid bitch. You'll get us both kicked out.
You have just broken the rules, Michael.
Excuse me? Are you all right?
What the hell's it got to do with you?
Well, you could be charged with assault. That's what it's got to do with me.
It's all right, I can handle this. You know you're supposed to complete all the tasks assigned.
And if I don't?
You can leave any time you like. But it's not going to look good when you come up for sentencing.
I don't want to leave, Helen. Bloody come on.
Why do you take that kind of abuse?
You get used to it in this place.
What a pig.
Pretty standard behaviour for him. I like your chances of getting an autograph, though.
Sorry? Michael Yasik, the tennis player.
That bad boy centre court.
Smashed more rackets than McEnroe.
So, he ended up at Leighton Hall, eh? I read he'd been charged.
Yeah, with possession and use. He's trying to clean up his act.
Well, he won't do it there. Those places are just luxury hotels for celebrity junkies. They get pampered to death.
Well, it didn't look like he was being pampered to me.
For the fees they pay, come on. Anyway, I've got this summons to serve.
Why is Archie Garrett working?
You tell me.
I would have thought he'd have more sense than to show his face around here again.
So who is that bloke?
Oh, it was a CDPI out of Geelong. Last time I saw him, he was ripping people off.
He's got the gift of the gab. He probably talked himself into the job.
That's what worries me.
Detective Hasham. So, in your view, Mr. Garrett is a dubious character?
Well, let's put it this way. I wouldn't employ him as a security consultant.
Well, actually, that is a bit of an exaggeration. He's only working for us on a temporary basis, a bit of private investigation.
Into?
We have a lot of high-profile residents at Leighton Hall. We like to be discreet.
Right. Well, let's put it this way. You can tell us what's going on, or we can have a chat to your high-profile residents. It's up to you.
There's been a bit of petty pilfering.
Well, what sort of things have gone missing?
This and that.
Well, could you be more specific?
A bit of money and a watch.
A watch?
A Rolex watch.
A Rolex? Well, not so petty. You should have reported that to us.
The owner would not want that, believe me.
And the owner is?
Michael Yasik.
Ah, thanks.
Is that all? I do have some work to get on with.
Mrs. Ridgemont said something about someone trying to get into her room.
Yes, well, I think I can explain all this demon business. I found these under her mattress. I don't know where she got them from, but they're obviously responsible for her behaviour.
I thought you ran a drug-free program.
And as far as I'm concerned, she's back at square one. The last 10 days have been a total waste of time.
And her money?
I beg your pardon?
Is this the first time you've had this sort of problem with her?
There will not be a second time, believe me.
Jack Ridgewine, she's a fashion designer, isn't she? I've seen her label.
Yes, she's a very tough lady, but she drove herself too hard. She got herself into some very serious drugs, which I'd hoped would manage to wean her off, but obviously not yet.
And you haven't asked her where she got these pills from?
No, I'm going to wait till she calms down.
That's all right. We'll have a word with her.
Is that really necessary? No more warnings, Jack. Next time you're out.
Pretty strong sleeping pills.
When you've been on them as long as I have, they need to be.
How well do you know Archie Garrett?
Who?
The man that was chasing you.
I've never seen him before in my life.
So it was the pills that made you think a demon was trying to get into your room?
No. That was real.
Jack.
Ivan, I've had enough experience with drugs to know the difference between hallucinations and reality. And there was somebody definitely trying to get into that door. They rattled a door and they spoke to me.
What did they say?
Well, that was the thing that really spooked me. This eerie voice saying I was going to die.
Jeremy, I didn't think you'd be here until the weekend.
Yeah, what's this I hear about someone trying to break into my mother's room?
All in her mind. She got hold of some pills.
Well, how did she manage that? Don't you have any security?
Well, of course we have security.
Well, what's the point in her being here if she can get a hold of whatever she wants whenever she wants it?
Hi, you're Mr.
Palmer, Jack Ridgewine's son. Who are you?
I'm Senior Detective Hasham. This is Constable Parrish.
Well, I know getting sleeping pills without a prescription is illegal, but is this some sort of police matter?
Well, it's not just about the pills. She thinks someone's trying to harm her.
The pills talking.
She seemed pretty confident it wasn't.
Well, of course she would. You must have run into enough addicted people to know that.
Have you got any idea how she would have got hold of them?
Well, how would I know? She's never had any difficulty before.
Have you ever been in a place like this before?
My mother's a very resourceful woman. She's obviously found new sources.
Obviously.
Excuse me.
Anything else I can help you with?
Yes. Archie Garrett.
Well, I'm not going to get rid of him on your say-so. He says that he is very close to the thief.
Well, he would, wouldn't he?
G'day, Sarge, how are you?
Archie, I heard you were back in town.
Yeah, well, you can't keep a good man down. Same old faces in here, eh? Oh, hang on a sec, fresh meat there. G'day, young fellow, I don't believe I've had the pleasure.
Archie.
Yep, I know the way, Mr.
This way.
Yeah, if you like. Oh, can I have a coffee with 2 sugars, please, love?
No sugar in mine.
So, Archie, what do you know about these voices Mrs. Ridgewine said she heard?
Me, Chief? Nothing. Well, I thought that was the pills doing the talking.
Pills? What do you know about those?
I mean, it's all around Leighton Hall. And I didn't give them to her, if that's what you're getting at. Yeah, but I can check it out if you like. I mean, with me being on the spot and all.
Are you sure it wasn't you rattling her door and putting on those stupid voices?
Why would I do that?
I don't know. You tell me.
You were certainly chasing her when we found you, and she seemed to think you were some sort of demon.
Well, she took off through the bushes. And I knew that she shouldn't be out there on her own, so I took off after her.
Very public-spirited of you.
Yeah, well, that's me, Chief.
I just don't quite believe you, Archie.
There was a group therapy session going on at the time. And I suppose someone thought that she'd be a part of that. Except that she was having a kip.
Oh, sounds plausible.
Well, it always does with Archie. I'll tell you what, if I was looking for a thief, he'd be top of my list.
Yeah, except the theft started before Archie even arrived on the scene.
I still think he's up to something.
Like what?
Like creating a permanent position by terrorising customers.
Well, he told Ivan he's close to catching the thief.
Of course he's going to say that. Look, he's not going to keep his job unless he gets results. It's easy work. It's money for jam.
Oh, you'd better keep an eye on him then.
Don't worry, I will.
See ya. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Here you go. Good.
Where's he going?
Don't ask me.
But 2 slabs of beer you could have
Well,
asked.
so could you.
Yes, all right.
You have a drink?
Orange juice, thank you.
Orange juice. Wow, wait. Chrissy, I'll have an orange juice and one of your finest beers. And how are you today?
Oh, good. How are you?
Good, good.
I thought Ben had stopped drinking.
Yes, I do.
What, did you ask him what they were for?
No, he's over 18.
Exactly.
So, guess who's back in town?
Archie Garrett.
You know everything, don't you? Well, I suppose you know that he's staying in...
Leighton Hall.
Yeah, well, rather him than me, that is a very spooky place.
Well, how come?
Well, there are all these stories, you know.
What stories?
Imperial.
What stories?
Yeah, Tess.
Hey, Tess.
This crash, I thought he must have fallen. I wanted to get Mr. Long, but he was out, and Archie told me to call you.
He needs help.
Gee, I'm glad you blokes are here.
Archie, what's going on?
Jack was right.
About what?
The demon.
Come off it.
No, Chief. I saw it. It chased me. I must have tripped or something.
We should get him to a doctor.
No, I'll be all right. I could do with a stiff drink, though. Oh, it's the first of the night, Mr. Hasham, I swear. I was walking down the corridor.
Why?
Well, I was doing my rounds, Chief, just making sure there was nothing suspicious going on.
Oh, yeah?
Then what happened?
Well, that's when I saw it. The ghost. It had one of those old-fashioned nightgown things.
A ghost?
Yeah, well, like it was glowing misty and it had big beady eyes.
You sure you haven't had too many of those?
Not while I'm on duty, Chief, but I know what I saw.
So what did it do, this ghost?
Yeah, well, like it came towards me, and you know me, love, I don't scare too easy, and it took its head off.
Well, that's a bit weird.
Well, that's when I sort of backed up and fell over the flower arrangements.
See, I told you there were stories about that place. In the 1800s, there was a murder at Leighton Hall.
Well, here we go.
Check it out for yourself if you don't believe me. There was this rich squatter bloke, Sam Muggleton, and you know what? He was decapitated.
See? I told you.
Give me a break. I mean, you don't believe that sort of stuff, do you?
Well, I heard Chrissy was impressed.
Chris. Now, Chris likes a good story, doesn't she?
Yes, I'd just like to have a word with Detective Hasham. Helen filled me in about last night. It looks like you're right about Garrett. He'll have to go.
Well, I think he saw something. Whatever it was, he did seem genuinely scared.
If anything had been going on, Helen or I would know.
Yeah, look, I just reckon it was one more of Archie's scams to drum up business.
Well, I think it needs looking into.
What is there to look into?
Joe, Archie was just trying to bot a few free drinks.
Then we can clear the matter up and stop the rumours.
What rumours?
People were talking at the pub last night.
Oh, publicity like that I can do without.
Well, we can be discreet.
What was that all about?
Why would Archie make something like that up?
Because he wants to keep his job at Leighton Hall, that's why.
Well, then it backfired pretty badly, didn't it?
All right, so you're saying maybe somebody else staged it?
Well, either that or there really was a ghost, yeah.
Whatever you say, Casper.
Look, we're not going to find out till we investigate, right? So, will you drive or shall I?
Mum, please.
I am getting out of here.
How on earth are you going to
I'm not staying here to be threatened and attacked.
Everything okay? She insists she's going home.
I've got a business to run.
Mum, we're doing fine at the office.
Oh, I bet you are.
Excuse me, Jeremy. Come on now, Jack. Let's get you back inside.
After what happened to Archie, you've got to be joking.
If anything happened, it was nothing to do with you. Nobody wants to harm you.
I've got enemies. There are plenty of people who'd like to destroy me.
What enemies, Mrs. Richmond?
Business rivals.
This is not reality.
Then what happened last night?
I'll be getting to the bottom of it. But you need to stay here, Jack. Your recovery depends on it.
All right. But I'm not staying in that room. I want another room.
Fine, we'll get you a new room.
Mr. Ridgemont?
Palmer.
Right, Palmer. Is it possible your mother's business rivals would attack her physically?
Of course not. The crap she's been taking has made her paranoid.
Well, but the rag trade is pretty competitive, isn't it?
Jack Ridgemont's biggest business problem is Jack Ridgemont. We're about to close a big deal with a major retailer, put our collection in all their stores, and Mum's erratic behaviour has been less than helpful.
Is that why you put her in here?
I booked her in here to get her well. So far, I've been disappointed. Excuse me.
Face it, mate, no one's trying to get at her. I mean, Archie's making up ghost stories.
I haven't finished yet.
I found him on the floor, holding his leg. Thought he must have stumbled into the floral arrangement in the dark.
What, dark? Well, weren't the lights on?
No.
Well, why not? It wasn't that late.
I don't know. I was in the middle of watching television. Suddenly they all went out. Thought a fuse must have blown. Anyway, I was on my way to have a look when I found Archie, all crumpled up and moaning about a ghost.
But the lights were on when we arrived.
Yeah, they all came on again. Must have been a power cut or something.
Did you see any sign of this ghost?
No. I think Archie should take more water with it.
He said he hadn't been drinking.
Oh, yeah?
I want her arrested. I found my Rolex in her room.
You've got no right to do this, Master.
So sue me.
What are you doing here?
My job, Chief. Found this. Oh, you'll find all the missing items in here, sir. Been a naughty girl, haven't we, love?
You bitch.
I've got no idea how that stuff got there.
Oh, it's no good, love. There's no way out. We've got you bang to rights.
Talking about rights.
Sure.
Archie, what are you doing searching her room?
Oh, the door was wide open, Chief. The bag was there for all to see.
Under her bed?
Yeah. Oh, clear as daylight. Right there.
You? Come with me. You knew who was doing the pilfering, so I want the truth.
And nothing but? Nothing gets past you, Miss Jason. That's why you made detective.
Archie?
Yeah, right. What was the question now?
When did you know Ellen Price was the thief?
Oh, let me see now. A couple of days ago, yeah.
But you waited till now to expose her.
Well, I had to be sure now, didn't I?
But you had to charge another 2 days' fees plus expenses, right?
Yeah, well, man's got to make a living, Chief.
The fact that Michael Jacek found his watch had nothing to do with it.
Well, just a happy coincidence.
No, you saw him coming out of Helen's room with the Rolex, and you thought you'd jump in very quick to take the credit.
Now you're hurting my feelings.
Cut the bull,
Look,
Archie.
the door was wide open when I walked past, just like I told you. And I don't think that you could prove otherwise.
Look, you've got the stuff back now. Can't you just forget about it and let me go?
Sorry, that's not how it works.
What if I told you something funny was going on at the place? Would that help me?
Well, it would depend on what it is.
It wasn't a power failure last night. When I checked the fuse box, one of the circuit breakers had been removed.
What, so someone put it back later when the lights went back on?
Well, they must have.
Helen, why didn't you tell us this before?
Pays to keep a low profile.
When you're knocking stuff off, you mean?
All right. There's something else. On my way to the fuse box, I heard Archie's voice coming from Mrs. Ridgemont's room.
This was before you found him in the corridor.
Yeah, that's right.
Did you hear what he was saying?
And this proves what?
I don't know. You're the cops. Look, I was heading back to my room when I heard him yelling, and the crash as he fell. I'm telling the truth.
Like you were before?
Large Supreme with double pepperoni, you know. It's a important call, Chief. Yeah. So, want to discuss the case? How can I help?
You're not here to discuss anything, Archie. You're still under suspicion.
What for?
About this so-called ghost.
Oh, no, hang on a sec. There was nothing so-called about what I saw, and that's the truth.
Uh-huh. The whole truth, or just your version of it?
You lost me, Chief.
You missed the bit about being in Jack's room last night, just before the ghost appeared.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to muddy the issue.
So what were you doing there?
Well, you see, Chief, Jack's hired me as her personal bodyguard.
I knew it. You're taking advantage of this woman's paranoia.
Oh, it's not paranoia, Chief. That's the point. See, I not only seen the ghost, I heard it too. calling her, threatening her.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here today, Mr. Garrett?
Oh, they could have been a little bit more generous with the pepperoni.
Mr. Garrett.
Oh, sorry. It wouldn't take me business anywhere else. Would you like a piece?
No, thanks.
Anybody? I'll see you later.
I really wish I had enough evidence to charge him.
Not just because Jack's given him a job.
Do you think the fact that he might be putting on silly voices and telling her ghost stories might have had something to do with it?
How do you explain all the lights going out when he was in her room, nowhere near the fuse box?
Maybe he had an accomplice.
Well, it could be worth having another look around Leighton Hall.
I'm Jack of this. I'm going for a beer.
So there's the delivery boy with the pizza, and Archie's expecting me to pay.
Oh, what a cheek. And now the thief's been caught, you'll be rid of him, eh, mate? Bitch?
Yeah.
Pete?
Mineral water.
What'd you expect?
Well, I'm buying. I just wanted to buy a drink. Freshen up the man's drink, please, Chris.
No, it's all right. One's my limit.
What the hell was all that about?
Don't worry about it.
Imperial... Paige? Just Joe for you.
Joe?
Hello, Chief.
Archie, what the hell are you doing here?
On my job, just like you. Oh, you're here to see Constable Parrish.
That's right. And where is she?
In Jack's old room. She's waiting for you.
Archie, what's going on?
No, I don't know, Chief. She said for you just to go right on in.
Yeah?
Joe?
Believe in ghosts now, PJ? Mask. UV lights. Glass.
Where did you find this stuff?
In one of the rooms.
Oh, the trick was to make the ghost appear.
Yeah, I noticed these marks, like something heavy had been leaned against the walls.
So it reflects something from around the corner.
Well, yeah, it was all done with lights. You keep it dark on one side and reflect the light off the other.
They used UV lights, so everything white would glow.
So someone was trying to scare the hell out of Jack Richmond.
Mate, you're up bright and early.
Yeah, I've come to say me farewells.
Farewells?
Yeah, I'm leaving.
Why, Archie?
Oh, they don't need me anymore out at Leighton Hall.
You got sacked?
Yep, Mr. Long terminated my contract, kicked me off the premises. Told him I was still working for Jack. Yeah, but no go. I'd even lose me bonus.
Bonus?
Yeah, the one they were going to pay me to keep you blokes away.
Away from the pilfering?
Oh, apart from the pilfering, There's more to it than that.
Yeah? Like what?
Well, I'd hate to say without any proof, Chief, but, you know, it's against the code and all.
Why are you telling us this?
Because, you're me mates.
But you don't volunteer information unless there's good reason.
You're a very cynical man, Mr. Hashem. Very cynical. But, it's been good working with you again. No hard feelings. So I'll see you all later.
See you later, Archie. He's right, you are cynical.
That's why I made detective.
A bonus? It's absolute nonsense.
Well, why did you sack him?
I didn't sack him. The job had finished. I thought you two would be happy to see the back of him.
Because maybe he knew something.
Like what?
Well, the reason behind this ghost business, to scare Jack Ridgemont.
Sorry, I don't follow.
No? Oh, well, maybe you wanted to keep her dependent on the Santa. Give her that feeling that she's having hallucinations, that she's a little crazy. Keep your fees rolling in.
You are very lucky I don't get offended easily. Otherwise, I might get on the phone to my lawyer.
Be my guest. Not today?
No.
Right. Where were you the night this ghost appeared?
A dinner party in St David's.
Anyone verify that?
At least 6 other guests.
I wouldn't like all their names, if you don't mind.
OK, thank you, Mr Brooks. Yep, thanks for that. Wait. Well, his story checks out. He was definitely at the dinner party in St David's.
Doesn't mean he's not involved.
You really think he'd go to those lengths to keep Jack Ridgemont at Leighton Hall?
Depends how desperate he is for the money.
Can't see there would be. Word around town is that Leighton Hall's got some very wealthy backers in Melbourne.
What, you want me to check it out?
Yeah, and do a background check on him before he came to town.
Master's degree in psychology, specialising in alcohol and drug rehab, qualifications in business management. He's worked at a number of detox centres both here and overseas before setting up Leighton Hall last year.
Fairly solid citizen, then.
Well, maybe not. Some of his Melbourne backers aren't too happy with him.
It's an Aussie version of a Californian detox clinic. High-profile patients paying through the nose.
Ah, quick returns, high profits.
Except he hasn't delivered. The place has never been more than 20% full since it opened.
Basically, if Leighton Hall doesn't do any real business, they're going to be shut down.
Doesn't actually mean that he'd do anything illegal to pump up business, though, does it?
Not necessarily, but I just think someone's playing silly buggers out there.
So what do you plan to do?
Joe has an idea.
No way.
But what's the problem?
Why me?
Because you would be perfect for the job.
Mm-hmm. And why is that?
No, experience, mate. I mean, you've been undercover before.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not because you think I'd fit in with all the alcos and druggies at Leighton Hall. Maybe even get rehabilitated while I'm there.
Come off it, of course not.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Joe. How many times have I got to tell you? I'm on the wagon.
Well, what about the slabs of beer you bought the other night?
Oh, nothing escapes your beady little eye, does it? They weren't for me. They were for a basketball club fundraiser in St David's.
Yeah?
Yeah. They've got a limited licence, so they asked me to pick up the grog. You can check with the club president if you want.
No, look, that's not necessary. Look, the fact is that you're the only one that Ivor Long and his patients haven't met.
And why exactly do you think you would benefit from time at Leighton Hall, Mr Macpherson?
Look, to be honest, I'm really only here because my employers insist on it.
And why's that?
They seem to think I've got some sort of drinking problem.
And you don't?
Look, I like the occasional drink, and sure, I may have grossed out on the odd occasion, but it's all under control now.
So you don't drink at all now?
Not for the last month.
Not even the odd beer?
No.
Wine? Spirits?
Nothing alcoholic at all.
Are you married?
Divorced.
Children?
3.
Do they live with you?
No, they live with their mother in Perth.
So you don't see much of them?
Not as much as I'd like.
That must be difficult for you.
I cope.
And what was the reason for your divorce, Mr Macpherson?
Look, is this really necessary?
I need to know everything about you that might be relevant.
She said that I was married to the job, not to her.
This would be your job with the oil company?
Yeah.
And do you find your work satisfying and rewarding?
Most of the time.
But not always?
No.
When not?
I missed out on the promotion once. Look, I really don't see why I need to answer all these questions.
If you don't want to cooperate, that's up to you. You don't have to join us here at Leighton Hall.
No, I want to. I need to.
Yeah, I can see that.
Probably suffering withdrawal symptoms already.
Ah, that's the real reason you wanted him to do the job, isn't it?
Well, maybe.
Hey, he was drinking mineral water last night. I checked.
Well, what about after you left?
That's fine. I mean, did he seem drunk to you?
Yeah, not particularly.
There you go. Is Ben eating in tonight?
No, he's other things to do.
Yeah, righto.
Well, that's not enough. I can't keep the wolf from the door with that amount. I can't keep this place afloat without a steady income.
Archie, what are you doing here? Same as you, Mr. Stewart. Hiding. I heard someone coming. I didn't know it was you. That's not what I meant. I thought you'd been sacked. By Mr. Longhair, but not by Jack. I'm looking after her interests. By hiding in a cupboard. Yeah, well, let's just get out of here, okay? Listen, how was that with Long? I don't know, Senior. Just go and check the corridor and just get out of here.
I knew it. I knew he was up to something. Did you see who Ivan was talking to?
No, and I didn't recognise the voice either. Listen, I've got to go. I've got a group therapy session to attend. Thank you very bloody much for this. Yep, I'll talk to you later. My name's Ben, and I'm here because my employers think I need help.
Because of your drinking, right?
That's what they say.
What do you say?
Look, do I really need to answer all these questions?
The idea of group therapy is to be as open and honest as possible. In this environment, it is safe to say whatever you wish.
Can't someone else say something?
He's in denial, I reckon.
Crap.
See?
All right, to get the ball rolling, why don't we play a little game? I want each of you to think of something about yourself that no one else here would know, a secret, and when I ask you, I want you to tell me what that secret is and add how you're feeling today. Right, who wants to go first? Michael, how about you?
Okay. Well, when I was a kid, I used to take tap dancing lessons. You can shut the hell up.
And how do you feel this morning?
Bloody angry.
Thank you, Michael. All right, Ben, how about you?
Pass.
You mean you don't have any secrets?
I mean, I think this whole thing's a total waste of time.
So you won't participate?
No.
And what do we all think of that? Ben's refusal to participate.
Quick, it's
Maybe he's really hiding something.
She's unconscious! Quick! Senior Constable Stewart, I think someone's trying to get to her.
Senior Constable? Jack? Jack?
Mrs. Richmond?
Snap out of it. Come on, snap out of it. Jack? Jack? Come on, darling.
Looks like she got hold of more pills.
Oh, I hope she's okay.
Why, aren't you worried about your source of income?
Oh, that's not fair, Mr. Asham. I got a lot of time for that lady. You ask Mr. Stewart here, he knows. Like I told him when we were in the closet together.
Cupboard. The what together?
Closet.
Bench cupboard.
Looks like she's going to pull through.
Oh, thank God for that.
She's conscious, the nurse reckons we can have a quick chat to her.
Beauty. No, Archie. Mrs. Richmond.
Archie. Is it you?
No, it's Senior Detective Hasham, Mrs. Richmond.
Archie!
It's all right, Jack. I'm here now. I'm here.
nearly got me.
It's all right, Jack. It's all right. I'm here now. I'm here now. Mr. Hashem would like to have a word with you. Do you remember him? He's a nice detective.
Can you tell us what happened?
Happened?
Well, how you came by the pills.
Pills? I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't have any pills.
Well, where do they come from?
I don't know. I can't remember. Archie, I don't want to talk anymore.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Just kiss me.
Mr. Hashem, I came as soon as I heard. Is she all right?
Yeah, she's doing fine.
Where is she? Garrett, what the hell are you doing?
Who's that?
Jeremy Palmer, Jack's son.
Because that is the bloke who was in Ivan Long's office last night.
You sure?
I swear it was his voice. But Archie reckoned he didn't know who he was.
Oh, did he?
It's all right, Jack. I'll just be out here, love. Yeah, well, I guess it was a bit of a porky. I'm sorry about that, Senior Stewart.
Why'd you lie, Archie?
I was just looking after my client's interest. I mean, he is her son, after all.
And where were you when your client was downing sleeping pills?
Well, that's a bit below the belt. I don't believe that she took those pills voluntarily.
What are you saying, that someone stuffed them down her throat?
In a manner of speaking, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Who?
If I knew that, Chief, you'd know by now.
Do you know what Ivan and Jeremy were talking about last night?
No, but it did sound a bit dodgy, I reckon. But then I did some checking and found out that Jeremy is taking full charge of Jack's business and personal affairs. He's even going to the court for power of attorney.
You reckon Mrs. Ridgemont would have given her son power of attorney?
No way. Whatever they were talking about last night was definitely a conspiracy.
Jeremy taking control of my business?
Apparently.
He's got no right. Who told you?
Archie.
Why didn't Archie tell me?
He didn't think you were well enough. He was waiting until you got stronger.
Jeremy.
Well, there's more. It looks like your son's been making approaches to your rivals to see if they're interested in the takeover bid.
No.
He knows you're opposed to it, so he's been trying to remove you from the equation.
By making me look like I've lost my marbles.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he felt sorry for me. That he was helping me go through the stress of withdrawal. And all the time he was doing it deliberately.
Doing?
Jeremy's been bringing me sleeping pills ever since I've been at Leighton Hall.
I can't believe you're taking this so seriously. She's in there because her mind's playing tricks on her.
Well, she was certain where she got the pills from.
I was convinced.
Me too.
Who stood to gain by keeping your mother in Leighton Hall, Jeremy?
Only you. That's why you try to drive her nuts by playing demon voices at her door.
Yeah, but when that didn't work, you brought the ghost of Sam Muggleton back to life. Trouble is, you scared Archie instead. So if you couldn't get her committed, your only option was to try and kill her.
No, that's not true.
Well, not to worry, mate, because actually she's doing fine.
Yeah, she'll be back at work in a week.
She said to give you a message. What was it?
He's fired.
That's right, you're fired.
She can't do that.
Sit down.
Sit down.
Anyway, can't prove any of it.
Not at the moment, but we found fingerprints on the glass in the lab. So we will be laying charges.
What charges?
You deliberately gave your mother an overdose of sleeping pills. That's attempted murder.
No, that wasn't my idea. I didn't do that.
Then who did?
That's absolute rubbish. Why would I put one of my residents at risk?
Well, Jeremy Palmer's going to bail you out once the takeover bid had gone through, right?
You've got no evidence of that?
We're just waiting for the search warrant so we can take a look in your office.
Yeah, I believe we'll find a cheque from Ridgemont Fashions for 20 grand.
Which, according to Mr. Palmer, isn't exactly a charity donation.
There's no point in denying it.
How did you administer the pills?
I put them in her coffee.
You tried to kill her.
No, not kill. I just wanted to put her out of commission until Jeremy got control of the business.
Out of commission? With a dosage like that? You could have killed her.
Not with the resistance she'd built up. No, she didn't die.
Only because Archie found her in time.
You don't understand. I knew what I was doing. Leighton Hall was going under.
So you risked Mrs. Ridgemont's life just to pay off a few shareholders?
We were going to set up the Jack Ridgemont Foundation. We were going to rename the place in her honour.
Oh, that's all right then.
No, you don't understand. My methods were working. People's lives were being put back together.
A woman could have died.
One life against so many saved.
And hey, she was going to have a foundation named after her.
Hard to imagine it, isn't it? A son hating his mother so much. Still, I guess it's my own fault.
There's no excuse for what he did.
No, there isn't. But I intend to stick by Jeremy. See what we can salvage of our relationship.
You're a good lady, Jack. Me old mum would have done the same.
I'll do something with these.
Well, thanks for everything.
Welcome.
And if you'll excuse us, we've got things to get on with.
We?
That's right. I've just employed Archie as my new security consultant. Come on, Archie. Let's go.
No hard feelings, eh, Chief?
You always land on your feet, don't you, Archie?
Oh, yeah. Here's a parting gift for you. It's a surveillance tape that I set up in Jack's room before she got moved. I mean, just in case there was anything going down. Well, there's something in there that I reckon that you should have a look at. See you, love.
See you.
Don't go changing.
Archie, you're driving.
What do you reckon it is?
Don't ask me.
Cold Berg, Sarge. Probably just druggies looking for some quick cash.
Probably so they can afford to get into Leighton Hall.
What was that? Nothing, just PJ being sarcastic. We're passing the new detox centre. 308 out.
Bloody hell.
Away from me! Leave me!
Save me! Don't let him get me! He's after me! Don't let him get me! The demon! The demon! He's trying to get me! Look!
Mrs.
Look!
Ridgemont!
There he is! The demon!
Hello, Mr. Asham. G'day, love. It's good to see you.
And I came down here. And then I ran out here, chased me through the bushes. I went across the lawn and across the driveway, and then the police car came up.
Come on now. It's all right, Jack. Calm down.
Someone was trying to get into my room.
No, they weren't. Were they, Helen?
You're imagining things again, Mrs. Richmond.
Come on now. Why don't I take you back to your room? We'll have a nice cup of tea.
She did seem very frightened.
I assure you, we know what we're doing. Come on, drink up.
So how are things at the station? Sergeant Croydon all right, is he?
Archie, what are you doing here?
As I told you before, Mr. Asham. Security consultant. Next Mr. Long there, he'll say the same.
That's true, Mr. Long. Archie works for you?
Yes, he does. Look, I have to get Mrs. Ridgemont back to her room. Can this wait?
I'd like you to come down the station if you don't mind sometime.
Sure. Come on.
There you go, then. I'll say goodbye, Mr. Asham. Bye, love. Give my regards to the gang at the station.
I've already raked the bloody lawn.
And put the leaves in the incinerator?
Just get off my back, you stupid bitch.
You'll get us both kicked out.
You have just broken the rules, Michael.
Excuse me? Are you alright?
What the hell's it got to do with you?
Well, you could be charged with assault. That's what it's got to do with me.
It's all right, I can handle this. You know you're supposed to complete all the tasks assigned.
And if I don't?
You can leave any time you like. But it's not going to look good when you come up for sentencing.
I don't want to leave, Helen.
Bloody come on.
Why do you take that kind of abuse?
You get used to it in this place.
What a pig.
Pretty standard behaviour for him. Don't like your chances of getting an autograph, though.
Sorry? Michael Yasik, the tennis player.
Yeah, bad boy, centre court.
Smash more rackets than McEnroe.
So he ended up at Leighton Hall, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Already been charged.
Yeah, with possession and use. He's trying to clean up his act.
Well, he won't do it there. Those places are just luxury hotels for celebrity junkies. They get pampered to death.
Well, it didn't look like he was being pampered to me.
For the fees they pay, come on. Anyway, I've got this summons to serve.
Why is Archie Garrett working?
You tell me.
I would have thought he'd have more sense than to show his face around here again.
So who is that bloke?
Oh, it was a CDP I had at Geelong. Last time I saw him, he was ripping people off.
He's got the gift of the gab. He probably talked himself into the job.
That's what worries me.
Detective Hasham. So, in your view, Mr. Garrett is a dubious character?
Well, let's put it this way. I wouldn't employ him as a security consultant.
Well, actually, that is a bit of an exaggeration. He's only working for us on a temporary basis, a bit of private investigation.
Into?
We have a lot of high-profile residents at Leighton Hall. We like to be discreet.
Right. Well, let's put it this way. You can tell us what's going on, or we can have a chat to your high-profile residents. It's up to you.
There's been a bit of petty pilfering.
Well, what sort of things have gone missing?
This and that.